Yes, I'm live. I'm live, but I'm making faces for a second because I'm collecting myself. I'm collecting myself for a moment before I do the vamp in because it's kind of a big day, and it is what it is. It is a big day. That is what it is. Welcome into the Cafe Nightly Show. I'm your host, the Goldsmith. Like I said, it's a very big day, but it is what it is, and we'll get into some of the details here. It's big because having a listing on a major platform is good for the game of Upland. Having a listing with a major platform that would be able to be more accessible by more people would be great too as well. But to be fair, regulations do vary from country to country. They vary by state, believe it or not, in the United States. We'll get into some of the specifics here. Bitget is announced as a new partner of Upland. There are some bilateral things that are going on there. Good to see you, Trees. Glad you're here. There's some bilateral things that are going on that getting started here as we get the Bitget announcement going for Upland. Upland has announced it today. We'll get into some of the details, and it's just more of an announcement than anything else. We don't have dates. We don't know when things are happening. We don't know what the listing is. We don't know what the original listing is going to be. We do know, and we do have reason to believe there will be, and there are going to be other options or other exchanges that are available later. There are many parts in the States, in the U.S. I am one of them that does use actually location locking that prevents use from some companies that are some exchanges, even if they are international, even if they technically have listings within the country themselves, they have additional rules that they follow. And the great state of Vermont, the greatest state in the United States of America, has some additional restrictions, like you have to jump through hoops and you have to have certain levels of data security and you have to do certain things. If you don't do those things, the people who live in that state can't participate with your platform. So get that out of the way. We'll get back into that in a little bit. But we did have that. So kind of big news. Whenever you have a large partner, it is an opportunity to onboard a lot of new people. It is an opportunity for people who are in the ecosystem to have a broad ecosystem to move into, to has a lot of trading partners, trading pairs, a lot of different individuals who are using the platform, 25 million. We'll get into some of the specifics, but we'll get into some of the gripes and some realities. And again, we'll put a little bit of scale on it. We'll put a scale on it, scale of time, and the idea that there are other options that will be coming in. And of course, today is chapter 2. I should say yesterday was chapter 2 launch, the chapter 2 of the airdrop. We are running things a little differently this time around, Upland is, and we are seeing things work a little differently, learning the system along the way. There's a really interesting component on how the multiplier works. Multipliers are very powerful, and they only kick in at the end of the week. So there's some really interesting dynamics as to what you're doing today and how you earn and where your earnings come from. At the end of the period of 21 days, at the end of the period of 3 weeks, how much spark that you're going to get, that depends on a lot of factors. We'll get into all those factors. But let's get started. Let's use a disclaimer because this is a big one. When we talk about listing, what could, what will, what won't happen, it is a big one. It is a big one for disclaimers. All views and opinions expressed by myself, their mind and mine alone, should not be taken as game strategy or financial advice. Any guests and contributors who we have on, same thing. No game strategy, no financial advice. There are the views of opinions of those who are not me. They don't represent myself, the Goldsmith, or the Cafe Nightly Show. And of course, anything I say, anything anyone else says on this show, it's not meant to be taken as coming from the game or the team of Upland, because it's not coming from the game or the team of Upland. All right, let's get into it. So I do want to take a look at the announcement. I do want to look at the great things about the announcement. I do want to look at the excitement that Upland brings along with this announcement and why it's exciting. And the people that it is effective with, the people it works with, it is exciting. It is something that definitely should not be frowned upon because it's not perfect. But let's talk about the realities about it once we look at the excitement and the jump up and down and clap our hands, which we can definitely do. We can jump up and down and clap our hands because this is beneficial to the ecosystem of Upland overall. This is something that we are going to see a strong amount, hopefully, fingers crossed, we're going to see a strong amount of interactions between players. We're going to see a strong amount of potential flow through of players from other ecosystems, Bitget, other ecosystems into Upland. So there's a lot to be excited about, and then we can talk about the nuances. So let's look at the promotion. Let's look at the clap our hands. Let's look at the smile and laugh, and then come back around to the reality. Everyone, we're excited. We're excited to announce a fantastic partnership with the wonderful Bitget. You know, that's anyways, we'll get back. We'll get back. This will bring the ability to get your hands on a huge number of prizes for a bunch of giveaways. Woo-wee! May or may not be relevant to you. You have the opportunity to get your hands on Sparklet. Ooh. Bitget's token BGB. Ooh. Properties in the exclusive San Francisco Treasure Island, and even a shiny new car. This is exciting because we were talking about this last week. Ooh, somebody bought Treasure Island, and people have been excited about it. We saw people getting together in groups, people trying to see what they could do, how they could buy that Treasure Island, and they were really, really excited. And I was excited too. It was pretty cool to see these people say, hey, I'd love to have a Layer 2 game, and I'd love to put it in there. And it is interesting the way that Treasure Island's being used here. Again, a major partner comes into the game. They purchase Treasure Island. Obviously, I'm assuming it's part of the agreement between the two parties. No issues there, no hate there. And that comes in, and those can become prizes. And those are kind of exclusive properties because no one could have gone and bought them. They're being given away as prizes. And then it ends up in a special neighborhood or a special area where you have a major brand partner that is setting up their headquarters. So it's really cool to be in that area where the headquarters of a major brand, a major partner of the game of Upland is set up. And if you get one of those properties, you're going to be really excited. I'm going to make an argument that a lot of people don't have an opportunity to get one of those properties. Ooh, but we'll talk about it. We'll talk about some of the details here. But let's look at the excitement up front. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff coming your way for getting involved on this one. So check out the post here for all the details. Let's take a look. Over in Medium, that's where our announcements have been for a while. That's where our announcements continue to be. This is a big one. Bitget joins Upland for exciting Treasure Island development. That's done the right way. That's done the right way. Right amount of excitement there. This collaboration will mark the launch of Bitget's headquarters on Treasure Island in San Francisco. I was going to say Treasure Island. And paves the way for the introduction of Sparklet on Ethereum. Great. A exchange listing, Sparklet on Ethereum, an exchange where we can actually list Sparklet. Exciting. It will also bring a host of new opportunities and rewards for both the Upland and the Bitget communities. Again, bringing people who are in Bitget now. The type of communities, like we look at Bitget as an exchange, you look at Coinbase, there's these essentially learn and earns where you can go and do this thing on that platform and learn a little bit about this token, and you get a certain amount of that token. And obviously, the token of Sparklet, for you to have any utility of the token of Sparklet, unless it's on Ethereum, and oftentimes it's going to be issued on Ethereum, but maybe they give an incentive where people are going to have to come into Upland to get that Sparklet. Maybe you get Upland version of Sparklet, not Ethereum version of Sparklet, and then you're encouraged to come to the game of Upland. I don't know. Maybe you go set up an account in Upland and you get some earn of Sparklet in Ethereum. I don't know how that's going to look, but I know that these type of partnerships, not just the listing, but also these partnerships with these exchanges, they're very lucrative. They can be very lucrative for the starting of tokens. Not every token's successful. Not every token has a utility to encourage people to start and adopt it and use it, like Sparklet. But it is a good opportunity, and it's been successful for many partnerships. And tokens are tokens until they have utility. And we'll get into a little bit of hope of bringing people in to use Sparklet as its intended purpose, not just bag it, sit on it, and sell it. Again, that's not the main goal of the exchange listing. I hope it's not anyone's excitement. having people buy up bags and reduce the supply of Sparklet, and then therefore potentially shoot up the price of Sparklet. That's not what we want to see as the main priority here. But let's look at the rest of this announcement. Again, the BitGub's Traders Hub. Bitget's Traders Hub is set to establish its headquarters within Upland, featuring the Traders Hub on Treasure Island. The hub will include Bitget's headquarters and an immersive cafe offering educational content. Like we said, on these earn and learns, or learn and earns. There you go, learn and earns. You have the opportunity to go into these spaces. You can go and learn about in establishing whatever it is, or moving into whatever ecosystem or whatever new token, and then you get a certain amount of that token. And I could see you coming into Upland to learn more about Sparklet, and by coming into Upland to learn more about Sparklet, now you're already in Upland, and now you can look at the utility of Sparklet. Maybe you bag your Sparklet. Again, if I'm talking to you outside of the game of Upland, maybe you bag your Sparklet inside of Upland with the potential that you could take it out later. You could, if you're going to sit on your bag for 10 years, which some people do in crypto, people are like, lifetime hold until I die, until 2 weeks before I die, and then sell it and then have a big party. Whatever you're doing with your token, if you want to sit on it for a long period of time, here's your utility inside the game of Upland. That could be the big selling pitch here. Bring people in who are interested in crypto. Tell them that, hey, your crypto is crypto, but it's also a utility, and it also has utility. And if that's what this cafe can do, more power to them. More power to them. Again, a couple more positive things before we turn this ship around. But look at this. There it is. Beautiful. Over there. It's gorgeous. I'm going to take a look so you can see what I'm looking at and what I'm excited about. It's the one and only Treasure Island. Let's take a look at the Treasure Island. And along with that Treasure Island, let's get back into this announcement, which I haven't been sharing yet. There it is. Look at that headquarters. Bitget. That's not bad. Not horrible. And there's Treasure Island. That's wonderful. Again, it could be divided differently. It could be going out differently. It is cool that it is an Upland partner bringing the game. All's good, no hate. As part of this ambitious initiative, Bitget has purchased Treasure Island, the last unminted neighborhood in San Francisco, encompassing 888 properties. These properties will be distributed as rewards, marking the final chance to own unminted properties in San Francisco, a city that was fully sold out 2 years ago. Again, there's been other drops and stuff along the way. We know that there was those hidden gem period, which was fun. Those were fun sales, but this is it. If you want a property in San Francisco, it's unminted, this is how you get it. Giveaways and rewards. To celebrate this partnership, we're teaming up with Bitget to launch a series of exciting giveaways. I love giveaways. I love giveaways of USD. I love giveaways of Sparklet. I love giveaways of cars. Ooh, let's talk about that. Bitget launch pool to farm Sparklet. Details on this will be announced soon, offering participants a chance to farm Sparklet tokens. Ooh, you put them in the pool, you get some more Sparklet. That sounds exciting. Increased rewards for Sparklet holders. Participants in the launch pool will qualify for airdrops with an Upland. Again, if you put Sparklet into the pool that's used to exchanges between currency, that, again, transitional launch pool, because they need that up front. You are going to get a reward for it. Yay! You get your Sparklet back eventually. It's held there for a certain period of time. You're probably going to get some pretty differentiated, pretty high rewards for being part of that launch pool, because that facilitates the successful launch of a new token. So it's kind of exciting. And it would be interesting to see how that rolls out. So that's pretty exciting. You can get a big reward. See, we're vamping up. We're building up. We're getting there. Why it's so exciting. The leaderboard for additional rewards, there's some additional rewards. It's pretty nice whenever we have these additional ones. These leaderboard rewards get pretty impressive. Bitget launch pool participants and Sparklet holders who bridge their tokens to Upland can compete for additional rewards. Again, if you put your Sparklet into the launch pool, and then after the launch period, and you take your tokens back and bring them back into Upland, there's additional rewards you get. And there's going to be points you're going to get on a leaderboard for having done so. And again, having that excitement of a reason why you're bringing those into the game of Upland. People love rewards, and people in crypto love these airdrops and rewards and getting prizes for doing things. And essentially, when we say prizes, we're talking typically airdrops for doing things. And this is a move your token into Upland for a period of time, get points on a leaderboard. The leaderboard is going to result in some prizes. So let's take a closer look at that. Again, additional rewards including properties on Treasure Island and the exclusive Bitget car replica NFT for racing and traveling within Upland. That makes it sound like whoever's reading this, which again, people who are reading this are not familiar with cars in Upland, meta motors or car racing, which is absolutely fine. It's interesting that Upland use that language and we didn't talk about car racing or how cars work for travel. It kind of feels a little bit like, by calling it a car replica NFT rather than a car or a legit car or a car asset, it felt like it was a non-native way of saying it as opposed to somebody who's already an Upland, which I'm fine with as well. By staking Sparklet, these users can increase their chances. Sparklet can be staked for UPX rewards through UPX Explorer and UPX Spark Exchange. So this is exciting. You can stake Spark through UPX Explorer and UPX Spark Exchange. That's Upland partnering with two exchanges within Upland, kind of pushing and say, hey, we want to support you. We're going to give people rewards for going and staking through your exchanges. It's kind of exciting. And then again, it creates that economy. It creates the opportunity for people who are looking to get structures built to go and have things built. And again, it potentially creates these opportunities for people to leverage that spark that's coming into those locations to build certain structures. And maybe it affects the market, maybe it doesn't. It'd be interesting to see how this goes. And again, it could set the market when people are seeing what type of rewards they're getting for staking. Again, staking Spark through UPX Explorer and UPX Spark Exchange. And these are people potentially who are bringing their Sparklet into the game of Upland who don't know Upland. They came into Upland because of the idea of crypto. And one of the major ideas behind crypto is this idea of staking. If the idea of staking is something that they're native to, they're interested in, they're not interested or native, maybe they'll be interested later, but they're not native to building structures for themselves in the game of Upland. They're not native to why do I need this structure, but they are native to this idea of if I stake this token, I get a token back. Maybe it's the same token or maybe it's a different token that comes back to me in reward. In this case, you're staking a Sparklet token and you're getting a UPX token. The UPX token is a locked currency inside the game of Upland. Maybe there's engagements that person has inside the game of Upland that last a week, or maybe there are engagements inside the game of Upland that builds their career for years and years to come in the game. So it is an interesting prospect. It is an interesting hook. It is an interesting way to bring non-native people who aren't in Upland now, who are crypto natives, into the game. By staking Sparklet, these users can increase their chances. Sparklet can be staked for UPX rewards, like I said, UPX Explorer and UPX Spark Exchange. They build structures or create no-code NFTs with Upland's UGC tools. We'll get into that. We'll be having a interview with Jason in early to mid, maybe August at this point, because we're trying to nail that down. But there is some interesting things with Upland telling non-native people who are outside of the Upland ecosystem, about Upland's no-code NFTs with the UGC tools and what that means, and that language to somebody who's not already familiar with what that looks like. Because this is something that we're going to do more broadly, or Upland's going to be doing more broadly. They're going to talk about Upland to people who aren't in Upland. They're talking about Upland to people who are in a different ecosystem. They're in a crypto ecosystem or a cryptoverse, and they're coming into a metaverse, something where there's some level of gamification and community, and try to build a place for those people. And maybe they want to stay, and maybe it's not just about the buy, hold, and flip. And that would be the hope for the whole community. Increasing their overall reward opportunities. That's exciting. This is exciting. Do you see it? Do you see this car? It has different lines than all the other S cars. This is pretty incredible. And if you look on the back, I see something sneaky. And I am not sure if it's intentional, but it looks very, very sneaky to me. It looks very, very sneaky to me. Ooh, stop. Oh, 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 oh. Could it be? Could it be? Whoa. Oh, no. Is that an A? Is that an O? Is that really? There's the badging. That looks a lot like a Corvette. If I had my eyes out, which I do, and I'm looking and reading there, and I'm seeing this little victory badging up here, and I'm seeing the word Corvette right here, and I'm seeing the lines on that car. Ooh, look at the lines on that car. And I go and I let it spin around a little bit longer. I go just a little longer, and I see the flared wheel arches, and I see the victory badging on the front again. To me, that is a Corvette. And if that is not a hidden announcement, I don't know what is. Upland has gone and done things that are, similar to a branded product, and more power to them. Go ahead, Upland. They're fun. They're fun when you get close enough. You have that rule where you can use I don't know. I mean, it depends on the day, but on a car you could probably get away with close to 60% likeness, but that last 40% will bite your butt. That is more than 60% likeness. So I would take that as a covert announcement that Upland got the rights to make a Corvette in the game of Upland, which is pretty incredible. Whether or not Upland gets sued, that's good. That depends on whether or not they actually got that partnership. But that looks a heck of a lot like a Corvette. And again, it actually is the word Corvette. That's where the cutoff is, right? You can do that 60% likeness. You can get away. You can make something similar. Yes, Cheese, they did a thing with that Harley logo symbol that was very similar, but they did a little bit of alterations along the way, and I don't think it was close enough to get sued by Harley, but this is close enough to get sued by Corvette. This is close enough to get sued by Chevrolet if you do not have that partnership. So I would take that as something that looks pretty obvious that there's a partnership that's been made. It's pretty exciting. Let's get into this partnership. Again, this is something that kind of blows my mind. That's the type of thing I've been waiting for years, is we are bringing in cars in the game of Upland. And we talked about the potential of bringing in these partnerships along with cars. But if we have a partnership with Corvette, I think that would be an opportunity for cars to actually mean a lot more to people. Again, people have this idea of hierarchies within cars in the real world. Metaverse Motors, who knows? What is that? S1, S1R, those are nice. Different performance levels. Get that. Different utility. But now we're talking about the car as a status symbol, even if we're talking about it just being a digital good. And we already have seen these brandings within digital goods where there's premium labels, where there's premium brands that make people excited. And this, let's go back up. This is one that can bring some excitement. Cooper Cobra, Radial GT. Yeah. You can't do that. You can't do that unless you've got that partnership. So we're going to keep our eyes open. We're going to keep our eyes open to see where this takes us. But let's get through the rest of this. Special rewards for Uplanders. Again, unique airdrop with Bitget. Will be dedicated to OG Sparklet holders. Yay! We've got Sparklet. Bitget. Yes. Do some stuff in Bitget. Get some rewards. Again, we're going to come back to this. Eligible Upland players who have owned Sparklet prior to the token generation event. Again, TGE. That's what Upland's going to use in a bunch of places. The TGE will be rewarded through a special pool of 3.5 million Sparklet tokens. That's 3.5 million. It's a lot. It's a lot. Oh, but there's more. These players will receive additional rewards from a pool of 50,000 USD worth of Bitget token, BGB, to celebrate the partnership. That's a great way to celebrate. We will provide more information about all the exciting giveaway opportunities and how you can participate in the coming days. Keep an eye out for these details so you don't miss out. We are incredibly excited about this partnership with Bitget and thrilled that they have chosen Treasure Island as a new home for their community. We can't wait to see them demonstrate another innovative use case for how communities can leverage Upland neighborhoods to strengthen their connections. We are eager for the future and all new opportunities it will bring for our community. About Bitget. Ooh! I don't even have to go to Bitget's website. Upland puts it right here. Established in 2018, Bitget is the world's leading cryptocurrency exchange. I don't know if that's the right language for, I don't know by volume. We'll leave that alone for now. And Web3 company, serving over 25 million users in 100 plus countries and regions. 100 plus, that's incredible. I wish I was one of them. No, 100 plus countries around the world and regions. The Bitget exchange is committed to helping users trade smarter with its pioneering copy trading feature. Again, copy trading, if you're not familiar with, it is your opportunity to essentially pattern on people who are successful in their trading. If somebody who is successful in their trading has a bad run, you have a bad run as well. So copy trading is an interesting thing. But copy trading feature and other trading solutions, formerly known as BitKeep, Bitget Wallet is a world-class multi-chain crypto wallet, I like it, that offers an array of exclusive, comprehensive Web3 solutions and features including wallet functionality, swap, look at these fingers go, NFT marketplace, dApp browser, ooh, it's getting there, and more. Bitget inspires individuals to embrace crypto through collaborations with credible partners. And this is true. This is exciting. This is a thing that makes Bitget a big get. Bitget a great partner to have, including legendary Argentinian football Lionel Messi. I was going to say football player, but football Lionel Messi, and Turkish national athletes Buse, Tosun, Kusavoglu. That's as close as you're going to get. Wrestling world champion Samet Gumas, boxing gold medalist, and Ilgin Aikin, volleyball national team. Oh, it's beautiful. We don't see American names there. And it's not because, there's not great American athletes. And it's not because this isn't a big company. It's because the U.S. is not as big a target audience because there are a number of states throughout the U.S. that have restrictions on Bitget. There's certain hoops that have to be jumped through that aren't jumped through. Technically speaking, there is support to U.S. Players, U.S. wallets. Regulatory technically meets certain hurdles. They don't meet it on a state-by-state basis because the U.S. with crypto is still broken into a lot of state-by-state requirements. And a lot of states don't make it illegal for exchanges, or they don't prohibit exchanges from operating in that state. They create additional requirements that they have to meet in order to operate in that state. And a lot of those exchanges don't meet those requirements. If we remember Robinhood had a lot of issues in certain specific states. They got sued by the state of Vermont, again, greatest state in the country. They got sued by the state of Vermont and had to pay a bunch of money because of how they transacted a bunch of trades. And there was a bunch of trades entered that they refused to put through. And then they went and changed some of their trading platform and their listings and carryings of certain cryptocurrencies. And the way they did that actually violated a lot of states' rules. So it was a no-no. Bad Robinhood. Steal from the poor and put in your own pocket, or take the money to make the trades and just don't make them. I don't know what the story is with that Robinhood, but it is naughty. It is naughty, and you hand slapped, and it makes it so that the next crypto exchange that wants to operate in the state, they have to jump through more hoops too. So it doesn't mean that a company like Bitget, and I think we're at the end here, right? Okay, good. Okay, I can go off on a tangent. It doesn't mean that a company like Bitget is not a successful or a reputable or a safe company to work with. It means that if you are in the United States, Canada, the Netherlands, some other parts of the world, there are certain restrictions, or it can be difficult to work with. And it doesn't mean you can't have an account. It doesn't mean that necessarily It's a direct violation of breaking any terms of service. Because again, you're not an OFAC country. You're not in a country that is restricted by the United Nations to have business done with them. That's not the problem. The problem is, again, that you can't access from where your location. It's like sports betting. You as an American, you could go and sports bet. There's plenty of states you can. You cross the borders. They have different rules for sports betting, how it can be done. Some states say no. Some states say yes. Some states you have to do this. Some states you have to do that. Some states you have to be standing on your head or be in a casino. Other ones you have to put a period of time where you deposit and hold the deposit for a number of days before you can get. There's lots of things that differ from one state to the next in the U.S. And again, crypto exchanges is another one of those things. Technically speaking, again, there is support from Bitget for those U.S. accounts. There is not the ability for all people in the U.S. to go and get a Bitget account. Like if you're someone like me and you go and you type in, it says restricted, and it says this Bitget cannot support your location. Generalized region of the United States. And generalized region of the United States means it's an area of the United States that blocks or does not recognize or does not allow Bitget to essentially operate or have accounts from that state originate in that state. What does that mean? It means that Bitget is one of the exchanges, one of the partners that is going to bring crypto let's say that crypto individuals into the game of Upland. It's one of the exchanges, one of the places where people who have Sparklet in the game of Upland can take their Sparklet and move it into an exchange and potentially sell it. Again, moving their Sparklet into Ethereum and then having the ability to either have a pair for exchanges or be able to turn around and potentially sell it at market rate. So that's really exciting. It does mean that there's certain people who are playing the game of Upland, who've been playing the game of Upland, who's put money in the game of Upland in the past, who won't be able to participate with this particular partner. Do we believe there's going to be additional partners? It seems that there is. Some conversation with the team already has said, hey, this is just one partner, and that's fair, and that's fine. And maybe that next partner is not going to be as easy for these other individuals who are having an easy time now, who can get right in with Bitget, who already have Bitget accounts. Whatever the next partner is that they announce may not be as easy for those people. Maybe they're going to have similar contests, and maybe I can get my Corvette that says, and I don't think this is going to happen, but let's just pretend, that says Coinbase on it. Maybe I get one because I have a Coinbase account. I can get my Coinbase. I don't like to say this. Maybe I can get a Robinhood, like I said, Robinhood Naughty. Maybe I can get a Robinhood one that's a Corvette. It says Robinhood. Whatever exchange Upland ends up working with that I get to work with in where I am, that somebody else might not be able to work with another part of the world. So that's a key part there. It's a key point to keep in mind. But it does sting. It does sting a little bit talking about 50,000 USD pool in this token for Bitget that essentially isn't there for me. It's possible. I don't think I'm going to do it because I'm not a naughty boy. Well, each person doing their own thing. There might be ways to do a custodial account and the custodial account be set up in a certain way that lets me interact with that custodial account, and that custodial account maybe is able to interact with Bitget. Maybe if I feel such a way and I do such a thing, maybe it's okay. Maybe it's okay. So maybe I do something like that. Maybe I don't. But it is a workaround. It would be a workaround if someone did it. And again, not financial, not game strategy advice. Check your local rules and laws and restrictions before you try to use a custodial account to get around any restrictions that are available in your area. We'll use that as a disclaimer. But it is possible for certain people to interact with this, and it's more difficult or less possible for people in other parts of the world to interact with this opportunity. There is this estimate that says about 25% of the Upland's populace. I don't think that's a correct number because there are some ways to work around, but without the workaround, about 25% of Upland's customers or players accounts are going to have no problem again with Bitget. Bitget, many countries in the world, no issue. It's a common cryptocurrency exchange. It's used by many individuals. Again, 25 million active accounts. It is not small potatoes. It is not a small thing. It is a big deal. So there's a lot of people who are interacting with and can interact with Bitget. It's just that a lot of people who are in the Upland ecosystem, Bitget is not an easily accessible exchange for those people. So it kind of feels like, ooh, this is a big announcement, and it definitely is a big announcement. It is a big opportunity, and it's definitely a big opportunity. The prizes are there, the rewards are there. The opportunity to get some Sparklet, move it out of the game of Upland, get a reward for having it out of the game of Upland, bring it back in Upland, get a reward for having that Sparklet back in the game of Upland, taking that Sparklet, staking it on the UPX Spark Exchange or UP Explorer, and getting the UPX for staking it, and also earning points on a reward or on a board, on a leaderboard to get more points or to get more prizes. That is exciting. That is real opportunity. That would be a great thing to be part of. And it does just burn the bottom a little bit, burn the backside a little bit, that the main core original, I will say the original. Let's not say the only. Let's not say the focus, because Upland is getting very international. But the focus is Upland is a U.S. company. Upland is a U.S. based company. I love that about Upland. If Upland wasn't a U.S. based company, I may not have felt as comfortable with the USD in USD out system. It made me a little more uncomfortable. AKA, if my company is based in Seychelles, like Bitget, there are certain countries that don't work with them as easily because they have concerns about some, old school things with about money laundering, and we don't get into those things. We don't worry about those things. But where those countries are used as tax havens or used as endpoints on money laundering or whatever the case is, where sometimes there's flags that get thrown up when you're registered in the Seychelles and people are trying to do business with you. So, it just is what it is. But again, this is not a complaint. This is a reality. The reality is I and a lot of other Uplanders are going to have a hard time interacting with Bitget. I and a lot of other Uplanders are probably not going to be, or unlikely to be, eligible for this whole pile of prizes. Oh, they're beautiful. They're shiny. That Corvette made my eyes tingle and water a little bit. I was crying over a digital car because that digital car had the right name, had the right badging on it. And, I think about my uncle's Corvette, and I think about, riding in the passenger seat and how it was hot and no AC, and you rattle around a little bit and your teeth feel like they're about to fall out because it rattles more the faster you go. And, those are the type of memories that, seeing a Metaverse Motors car just don't bring up. So those type of partnerships are exciting. I would wish I could be part of these contests. And I will kind of put this out here as well, is maybe, just maybe, this idea, the reason why Upland goes with a company like Bitget and they go with them up front and fast is because it was a big opportunity they had to get. And maybe getting a big opportunity like Bitget that is on an international stage and having that partnership to start things, maybe that helps them get other partnerships. And I really hope it does. Maybe that's the one little piece they have to get. Maybe that's the one little linchpin they have to put in place to get Coinbase. Maybe that's the one little linchpin they have to get in place to get Robinhood. Maybe they have to do that to get another exchange to kind of come in, come on in. Maybe they have to do that. I mean, Alcor, probably not big enough to be too excited. But it again, if Upland can do that little tiny, again, maybe not so little tiny, but if Upland can do that original act, make that partnership, make a little bit of splash, maybe there's a reason why they lead with this one to try to pull some others in. And it is and it can be great to be the one who's winning the prizes. It's also nice to be part of the ecosystem if this is successful. This listing may help things be successful as far as the idea of Sparklet being exchangeable, going out on, again, the idea of Sparklet on Ethereum, there being a floating market outside the game of Upland, there potentially being crypto people who see Sparklet, buy Sparklet, bag Sparklet, take Sparklet, bring it into the game of Upland because of the way this contest runs, and maybe stay. Again, I say maybe. These are all theoreticals. You put a lot of work in to try to build your ecosystem. You put a lot of work in to make these contests sticky, to bring new players in, and to get those players to actually stay. But we don't know what the effect is going to be. We are looking forward to it. We hope it's successful. And we hope that it helps bring in a partner that I'm able to interact with, that I'm able to win a Corvette from. Easy enough. Let's leave it there. Let's take a look at the other big piece. The other big piece was kind of a covert mission. I say it's a covert mission because Upland told us, hey, guess what? You're going to be getting some new Sparklet. Sparklet Chapter 2 is right around the corner. They didn't say, hey, wake up early on Sunday and get ready, get out, and go and do your tasks on airdrop.upland.me. But that was just what you should have done. Get up early on Sunday, airdrop.upland.me, and go and make your little comment. Boop, boop. Go and do a little retweet with a quote. Yeah, quote. Go do a quote. That's a quote. That's a comment. That's a like. That's a like. I'm having some issues. And again, whether or not that's an issue, whether or not it's a delay, whether or not it's just me not knowing how to use a computer. I don't think it's me not knowing how to use a computer. I'm not getting my points. Where are my points? Oh, there they are. Okay, never mind. I can stop complaining. I've just been waiting 6 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours, and there they are. 1 quote, 1 reply, 2 likes, 160 points. And if I go here to earn points, I will see this is blue now. I will see this is red. I'll see this is red. I'll see this is green. And that was not planned. I did not know that these were going to finally turn. I've been waiting hours and hours. Again, Upland says wait 1 to 2. I've been waiting hours and hours and hours for these to turn color. They finally turned. I get my points. I'm a happy Goldie. Let's take a look at a couple other things here because we'll actually get into the specifics of what we're doing. This is a little different than the last time we did an airdrop. This airdrop is a little more targeted towards you actually having an outreach. Go figure. You interacting with other people who are followers or putting information out and having other followers or people who actually follow you put their eyeballs on it. Not just do you have 1 million followers of accounts that don't exist anymore or 1 million followers who, maybe they are a real account, but maybe they don't actually interact with any of the things you put out. Maybe the algorithm has entirely blocked you because they followed you 15 years ago and they don't give a crap about your content. They followed you because you were putting out bird posts 20 years ago. Again, 20 years is a little excessive. They were putting out bird posts 12 years ago, and now you're doing crypto, and those people don't care. So the people who actually interact or see or view in the eyeballs, the impressions that go on your post, those are going to actually make a big difference as far as how many overall points you get. Points are earned through going ahead and doing tasks, and there are specific points per task. And then there's a multiplier, and we'll get into the multiplier because, again, it's very, very different. It's very interesting. I like it. I think last time was an interesting concept. I think it was very exploitable. I think that some people who had more impact than others got almost no benefit. 0.07 spark for me, 70 sparklet, which, again, I can't cry about. That was for free. I did very little activity. I reposted some posts. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the interaction and a little bit of do this once in a while. And it didn't take me long at all. It took me minutes over the course of 21 days. It didn't even take me hours. It took me minutes to do everything I need to do to get my 70 sparklet. So I can't complain too much. But I'm sure there's people who had less outreach. There was less eyeballs that actually hit their content, and they got more sparklet. They got more sparklet because of this idea of aging that Upland built in on the old version, and they got a lot more sparklet because they had more followers. But those followers, like I said, were not engaged and were not actually seen, whether it's because of the algorithm or because they weren't real, weren't actually seeing the content. So let's get into the specifics of here, how to earn the points. The Share and Build Sparklet Airdrop platform is an external website that allows users to earn Sparklet, formerly Spark, rewards in the Upland app by engaging with Upland's Twitter account. Participants connect their Twitter accounts, X, Don't worry about that. It's a Twitter account. And like, reply, share the tweets highlighted on the platform to earn points. Earning points allows participants to level up during their 3-week campaign within the 10 levels. So what we had this before is you get to a different level, you get a different amount of sparklet. So you kind of pushing, can I just next level just by a little bit? You get there just by a little bit, boom, your next category, you get that amount of spark. So, level 1, you get this much spark. Level 10, you get this much spark. Sparklet is the new game. Before it was Spark. Again, level 10, lots of Sparklet. Level 1, a little bit of Sparklet. So that is what to expect. You're in one of 10 baskets. How do you move your rank up? Each of the activities, some activities require a reply, a repost, or a like, and some combination thereof. 40 points for a reply, repost is 60 points, and like is 20 points. Some activities are going to be just like, some activities just reply, some just repost, and some combination thereof. Earning points, earning points, earning points. Participants can earn by following the Upland Twitter account, Upland Me, or at Upland Me, and interacting with the tweets highlighted in the Airdrop platform. Participants may encounter a delay in displaying their points due to Twitter's APIs of 1 to 2 hours. It was more than that for me. Of 1 to 2 hours from the time of the action. The highlighted tweets all change periodically, so make sure to check in with the platform every day. Participants have the individual multiplier to their earned points, which depends on the position reached on their Twitter account. We'll talk about this. Claiming your sparklet at the end, blah, blah, blah. You have to link to your Upland account. Shake your hands, magic. You get your sparklet over in your Upland account. So, similar. Points, same way. Upland's not just doing like, reply, repost every single time. They're doing some combination thereof. That's fine. That's good. I'm happy with it, and I'm glad they're doing it. But here's the differences. The difference is how this multiplier works. Players' history of multipliers. Okay. Oh, there's my 160 points. I like that. Let's see. Chapter 2. There we go. All right, there's the points, the multiplier calculations, the multiplier resets each week, new notification system. This is nice, the new notification system. If you sign up, you receive an email notification whenever a new post is available. Again, this is one of those things where Upland brings the cookies to you. Check your email, you see the announcement, you go and you do it. It's not like you're checking for days on end when you don't get anything. And we did see this before. Is it 2 days? Is it 3 days before the task? You get that email. You don't have to go and check willy-nilly. I'm still going to check willy-nilly that I missed anything. Shiny new badges. Collect brand new badges in this chapter. Let's catch them all. Oh, that's cute, Upland. I see what you're doing there. Let's catch them all and show off our achievements. History multipliers, you can now easily check your weekly multiplier and score on a brand new page. Here's your missions. Look at those. Go back here. Here's my main page. Here's all of this. There's my earned points. Here's my multiplier reset. Ooh, this is a fun one. So there's my multiplier resets in 6 days in the week. And I'll get back into the tasks that are open right now because we've had we're just over 24 hours. I'm sorry, like 36 hours with this. And we've got a third task. So thank you, Upland, for giving us bunches of tasks this time around. Hopefully you give us plenty more. So that the people who are more active, more participatory, they get more points along the way. The people who just do 1 or 2 or 3, they're more differentiated from everybody else. I like that. All right. Your multiplier is now updated every week. Again, even though this is a 3-week process, every week could have a different multiplier. Based on your missions impressions, Twitter impressions are the number of times a tweet has been seen by users on the social media platform. Every week, Upland will consider the total impressions for all registered players. Again, the aggregate cumulative impressions for everybody all stuck into a big old pile, then you cut it per individual, and that's the average, and then you figure it out from there. Every week, Upland will consider that total. Your points will be calculated as week 1 points times week 1 multiplier. Okay? So this has to happen at the end of the week, which is what we're going to see. So when you go to week 2, you get the week 2 points multiplied by the week 2 multiplier. That score is going to be added to the week 1 score, which was the week 1 multiplier times the week 1 points. Poof, poof. We're starting to count these up. You go all the way to the end of the turn. Sounds fun. We saw that there was a way to look up a multiplier. That's fun. I can see what I did last week. I can compare it to this week. I can change my strategy as I get into the next week. Before the multiplier is calculated, you will see only your points. Again, the multiplier does not happen until the end of the week. You see only your points. The multiplier gets applied. Then you get some points. These multipliers are fun. This is why they're fun. Because now we have an opportunity based on where we fall in the strata. Again, we'll get into the specifics. Where we fall in the strata to get a pretty massive multiplier. And it's not based on how old my account is. It's based on the number of eyes that see my post. That rewards me for putting out good content and ending up in other people's eyes in the game up, or people's eyes who are outside the game up, and people who are just following me on Twitter. It helps genuinely to have this a Twitter account that people like to look at, as opposed to one that they never look at and therefore falls off on their algorithm for placement. Players' position in the total impressions. Again, this is by percentiles. Top 10% get a multiplier of 32%. 80% to 90% get 28 times multiplier. 70% to 80% get 26 times multiplier. 60 to 70%, 22. 50 to 60, 17. 40 to 50, 13. 30 to 40, 10. 20 to 38, 10 to 25. And then the bottom 10, 3. Oh, it's pretty great. It is pretty great. I'll tell you why. It's pretty great because, again, it doesn't matter if I have a 40-year-old account. It doesn't matter if I bought an account from Tina down the street. Tina down the street's account better have lots of people who interact with the posts I put out. And they better not be those bird people. Good to see you, Wolfhorn. They better not be those bird people, because those bird people don't care about Upland. And they aren't going to want to watch it. And they'll get algorithm and down the line. But if I have somebody or have an account, I have an account who is in the crypto space, and people want to see what you're saying about the crypto space and what's going on. They're more likely to see your tweets, whether you have 600 or 1,000 or 2,000 followers. You're going to get a different number of impressions based on how your followers actually interact with the composite or the majority of your content, what you're putting out. If there are a lot of people looking at what you put out, then you'll see a lot of people having impressions, and those impressions are going to be what drives these multipliers. So I think this is a much better way of doing things. It shows that Upland listened to people and looked at how other people do their airdrops. Be honest with you, this is smart. Is it manipulable? Yes. Is it still somebody with a big fat stinky farmed account or a purchased account? Are they still going to perform well here? They may still perform well here, but it does also reward people for having active followers, as opposed to, again, that 10-year-old Twitter where half your followers or 90% of your followers aren't actually seeing what you're putting out because they're not actually active accounts anymore. So this is nice. It is nice that it's done this way. I appreciate it. More points along the way for those who continue to engage with. And again, this being a weekly basis, if I'm somebody who's putting out a lot of work over 2 of the 3 weeks, and then the third week I drop off, where is the one to close? Oh, got it. And I drop off for the third week, I'm going to get a different score for that third week. Or if I have 2 weeks that I'm and then that third week I'm able to actually put a little bit of effort in, I'm going to get a differentiated score that third week. So that's fun. That's kind of interesting. Again, let's get back here. Let's go back to earn points. I'm at 160 now. Yeah. Now I just have to get that multiplier up. More points are going to be earned along the way. This is what these look like. So we do have, it pops up here. See that these are colored. If they were not colored, if they were just a kind of gray heart here, a gray quote bubble, a gray comment bubble. If I see these, I haven't done them yet. I can click on them, take me to Twitter, do the thing on the right post. On the right post, I learned that if you see the post from this person, but it's not quite that one, maybe it's just a little different. There was one that was multiple posts looked pretty similar, but if you see them and they're really similar, make sure you're posting on the right one. That's how you get your points. Make sure you're doing it. You're going to see that I did everything that is here. We did have yesterday, the 21st. We had this drop in the morning, a little bit of a surprise. Nobody knew it was coming. Upland told us it was coming. They just didn't tell us when, I should say. And then today we had two. We had this one here, and we had this one here. Again, 20 points right here. And then comment, 60 points. Is that right? So we had a total of 80 points today. 80 points today? No, I apologize. Total of 60 points today. There you go. I could have just looked at the, yeah, 60 points today. Reply 40 points. Like 20. Repost 60. So very cool. It was very quick here off the gate. Does that mean that Upland is going to put 1 to 2 every single day for 21 days? Not necessarily, but I love to see it. I love to see it continue to happen. Again, the people who are active every single day, they're going to have a bigger differentiator between the people who just go and do a couple of these. And when I say every single day and not just at the end of the month, just do it and call it a day, there's a big difference there. And the big difference is expired missions, because Upland will be expiring these. They did them before. You get a day and a half in, it goes back here. And I say day and a half, it's not necessarily a day and a half. We've had some of them expire at different times. Essentially, you get enough at once, 1, 2, 3 at a time, then, they start dropping off and expiring. And we don't know exactly how long it's going to be. So interact with them as quickly as possible. You'll have these expired missions here. I have current missions that tell me what I can still participate in. If you have not participated yet, and you do not have a Upland, airdrop.upland.me set it up. You have a Twitter account. This is meant to work with your Twitter account. So you have to have a Twitter account. You have to link your Twitter account to your Upland, to your airdrop.upland.me site. You do that. And then eventually you have to make sure you have an Upland account and then link your Upland account to your airdrop.upland.me account to get the rewards at the end. You don't have to do that right now. You should do that right now. But if you haven't done that and you're just doing the participation, you're earning the Sparklet, and you haven't taken 20 minutes to set your Upland account up, set your Upland account up. Do the KYC. Get everything all set. So your Sparklet's going to come in, no issues. So you're not going to have any surprises. So you're not going to have any hurt feelings or crying, tears down your cheeks. Do it now. Do it ahead. That way, when everything's over, you actually get your Sparklet. What I can say about this is, if I can go back over here, what I say, 6 days left until the end of this multiplier reset. And then I can see here that we're in chapter 2. We can see here there are 19 days left. This is, it is something to occupy our time the next 21 days. Do 21 days end, and then we have another airdrop period to 21 days end, and we go right into some listings on exchanges. We don't know. We had the announcement on a community with listing, with crypto trading. Does that mean that's something that's going to happen soon? Does that mean that listing is going to happen soon? We don't know any of that. That's important to note. It's important that this airdrop is for 21 days, and we understand that we participate as much as we can over those 21 days without a guarantee of what's going to happen the next cycle. And again, comparatively, I know it's not the who gets picked first, who gets picked last for dodgeball, but comparatively, if I have a larger reach than these people over here, I'm going to get a bigger multiplier. I'm going to get more Sparklet. If you have a larger reach than I do, you have more people seeing what you're putting out there on a general basis. Therefore, more people see what you put out there for the repost and the activity for Upland. You're going to get a larger multiplier. Your larger multiplier is going to help give you more Sparklet as a reward. And I will put this out there. If you are naughty body, if you are the type of person who tries to find a loophole, who tries to make some crypto just by, you know, buying some likes, man, buying some eyeballs, get some accounts to follow you that aren't real. It's okay. Let's sneak them in there. It's not okay. Don't do it. Upland's got their eyes out. They're looking for you. They're watching you. They have, and they will continue to, and they'll get better at it. Identifying accounts that have high suspicious activity. If your account has high suspicious activity, that's you, and that's your Sparklet, and that's in the garbage. Because if you have high suspicious activity, it's part of the TOS, it's part of the rules. You will not get your Sparklet. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. And if you have an Upland account, that type of behavior, unfortunately, could affect your Upland account. Please don't do it. It's violating the rules. It's not good for you. It's not good for anybody else. And it makes Upland seem authoritative to throwing you into Alcatraz along the way. So this is something we're going to run for the next 19 days. Looking forward to the continuing of Chapter 2 here. If you are somebody who is looking for the next thing in Upland, continue to keep your eyes out for city reveal or city release. Tell us when the city is coming. But as of right now, we don't know what day Paris is going to drop. We don't know for sure it's Paris, but we're 99% sure it is. And for right now, thank you so much for tuning in and joining in. Monday through Friday, 7:30 p.m. PT, we do get together here on Twitter, here on YouTube, in the Upland Discord Cafe. If you are the type of person who wants to sit there on voice, on mute, jump off at the end and be part of the conversation, it might be the place for you. But YouTube, Twitter, you can see the feeds, the share. We got it up on YouTube and Twitter immediately after. You can go and rewatch the show. And if you have questions, feel free to shoot them in. We've got some interviews that are coming up in the not so distant future on some pretty big things, pretty major issues of Upland. But right now, this is a major issue. We're going to have Sparklet over the next 21 days. We have 19 left, I should say, where we are going to be in Chapter 2 and earning. We are going to keep our eyes out for this major announcement from today with Bitget coming to the game of Upland. When those contests happen, will you be able to participate? That's a good question. But you'll be able to keep your eyes out for that participation opportunities and that partnership. And of course, if you're like me, you're going to keep your eyes out for an exchange that you have a better chance of working with. You have a better chance of earning points on the leaderboard for, and you have a better chance of earning that Corvette with. So for tonight, thank you so much for being here. If you're in the Upland Discord Cafe, feel free to unmute your mics. The floor is yours.